Welcome aboard, it's Captain G with today's update for Historical Board Gaming's Operation Barbarossa, Axis Turn 10, November and December of 1942. So, 1942 comes to an end with the Germans again going all in to Leningrad to squash the holdout zone. They started this time with the Finnish doing their attack. Again, because they don't have initiative, they have to attack separately. So the Finns went in first. They only caused one casualty, and that was an AA. They lost two tanks and some infantry to the first strike artillery and defending infantry. And then when their attack was over, they also lost their tactical bomber, was shot down by the 5 AAA. Then the Germans attacked, and since that was a separate attack, the Soviet artillery got a fire first strike a second time, took out a bunch of German infantry. Unfortunately, we didn't get any steel, no metal, no German aircraft, but we held the city. Didn't cause him a lot of damage because we're encircled until this lake freezes. So we're fighting at a -2, same penalty as the Germans who are attacking. And not much movement else along the front. Focusing on the strategic mission to win the game, win the war, take Baku. The Germans did not distract and send any reinforcements up here to the Soviet army. They instead used their trains to move their reinforcements here. The only offensive actions down here, they did a little strategic bombing to cause some more damage to the Stalingrad factory, which I failed to put back in its place after I damaged it, but I'll find wherever I put that sculpt and put it there. It should be sitting right on top of that stack. I'm not sure what happened to it. And then they did some non-combat moves. So first you'll see 5 trains here. So 2 came from the reinforcement zone, bringing infantry and artillery from there. 1 came from this area. I forget exactly which zone had it, the train, I think maybe here. And then the other 2 came from here, and they brought down the German armor, AA and artillery. And then all of the Axis miners just moved in combat to here. So they've now encircled Baku, closest to Baku, which was a smart move because now these guys cannot break that. This infantry, they can only move 1, and he didn't move into here. He moved down and then moved up. So the only way that they'll break out of this encirclement is if Baku expends their resources, and Baku needs to defend. The only thing going for Baku right now, being totally surrounded, is they are well stocked with supplies, and they're in a city. They're in a city zone right on the Caspian Sea. So that will help them because the Axis have penalties when they have to attack. So he's going to be throwing this armor and these infantry into Baku. Sadly, I didn't get artillery down there, just infantry and tanks. Otherwise, I would get the Leningrad first strike every turn. So this is the end of 1942. The Germans have been stymied somewhat, but historically they're doing much better than having their army frozen in Stalingrad. In fact, it's been a very mild winter. And coming up next turn, when we look at initiative for January, February 1943, good weather. He rolled a 1, which is always good weather. Any time of year is a 1. So as we roll into 1943, it's good weather. All the aircraft can now fly. Tanks can blitz. Other units can move 2, can move 4, regular supply consumption. And they've, Axis have built their very first elite Panzer unit. So that unit, similar to the Soviet Guards tanks, will attack and defend at an 8 and takes 2 hits to kill. So it's been a fun 10 turns, and something tells me that we might have another 10 turns left ahead of us. We shall see. Up next will be the Soviets in January 1943. For Flak 88, this is Captain G. Over and out.